Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It is Tuesday at 5 p.m., and I'm in Studio A, and Miss Fiona is in, Studio B over there. Hello, Miss Fiona. How you doing, dear?
Good. How are you?
I am still alive, baby. I am here, alive and well. It's like 90 degrees in Chicago feels like 100. So they say they've been talking about that all day long, how hot it is in Chicago. And I, for one, am happy because I tell people all the time, you can't have, like one and hate the other or hate them both. You got to like one
Mhm.
and love the other. So I love the warm weather and hate the cold weather. So
Mhm.
this is my time of year. I'm loving it. As they say
Yeah.
on one of them commercials, I'm loving it. You know. So how you doing, Miss Fiona?
I'm off work. It's been a great day. It is extremely hot, but I'm not complaining. I'd rather this than that snow.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so
I'd
you ain't
rather
so
this.
you're not hating on the hot weather either then.
Not at all.
Okay. So now I'm gonna go
Not at
there.
all.
In Connecticut this time of year, what's the weather like?
Um, I moved out of Connecticut almost 10 years ago. Let's see. It would be summer. It's summertime. It's summertime, and then it will be hot. It gets hotter in August,
Okay.
and then Um, one thing I do miss about home is the seasons are the seasons.
Okay.
Like true seasons. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, because I know Connecticut's a little bit further north to closer to Canada. So do they have colder weather a lot longer, or?
Well, with this global warming and stuff like that, I don't know. But I would just say it would be like winter would be winter, and it's cold. It's cold, but it's not colder than Chicago.
Oh, look at that! See how you just bash Chicago?
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not bashing. Chicago lives up to its name.
yeah. Well, we got this
It
thing
lives up
called
to
the
its name.
Windy City. Okay,
Mhm.
they have made songs about the Windy City. And when that cold air comes down from Canada, it is brutal and bitter. And
Mhm.
actually everywhere that it touches is bitter and brutal.
Mhm.
So it's not just picking on Chicago. It's the real deal, baby. It's cold. Yep, it
Like,
ain't no joke.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Great.
I was I was thinking of Narvell. Remember when he was on it, he was talking about Buffalo
Right.
and how cold it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Buffalo
Mhm.
is right there on the border, of
Mhm.
Canada and New York. That's a place, boy. Whoo, baby. Man, when they say the only thing they famous for is buffalo wings, they ain't lying.
That's funny. I didn't know that either. I was like,
uh,
oh,
yeah,
I learned something new that day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only thing
I
they
did not know
famous
that.
for. Yeah. I've
Oh
had the
wow.
misfortune of going there in the wintertime on tours, and I tell
Mhm.
you, it ain't nothing nice up there. Nothing nice.
Really.
Yeah, nothing nice. Shout out to my brother and broadcaster, Mr. Chris Bass. He says good afternoon to Dr. Ron and Fiona. Have a great show.
Hi,
We
Chris.
most certainly will. Thank you, sir. Please
Thank
put
you.
your information in the comments section so people will know how to find the boom shakalaka, Mr. Bass. That is his handle when he's on the air. So glad to have him tuned in today. You're in for a very special treat, by the way, for those that come in and stick around and hang around. We were scheduled to have David Emile on the show. That was the guy, in case y'all don't remember, that made Miss Fiona cry. His
A little. Yeah.
testament, his testimony was so powerful that that's Miss Fiona. just couldn't hold it. She just let one go. So
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I just have to say, being human, certain things that people do and certain things that people say, and you never know what somebody else is going through, and you never know what you share and comment with somebody else. So that was just a great moment. I appreciated that, and I was thankful for that moment.
Yeah.
I don't care if I cried.
Yeah, it just shows that you're human, baby. That's all. You
Hmm.
know. Well, he ain't here. He was scheduled to
Right.
be here, but he ain't coming. So you ain't got to worry about crying today. Okay, we all good. All right, because I doubt if I say anything that'll make you cry. Uh,
When
let's get this commercial out the way, y'all. Every show, I like to give a shout out to a few people that have been special to us. And first of all, I want to start out with giving a shout out to Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt and I have been together for over 30 years, and he is my mentor. And I love shouting him out because he has been such a positive influence in my life. Now, all that other stuff I got on my own, but the positivity I got from him. And Dr. Hunt, he and I talked on yesterday. Matter of fact, we got into a little debate, which I'll share with y'all after I get through giving this shout out. So most people don't know where to find Dr. Hunt at, but I'm going to tell you where you can find him. If you go over to ask-dr-ron.com and scroll up to the top, you'll see all my social media tabs there. You'll see Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you'll see YouTube. Click on the YouTube icon. It'll take you to my YouTube channel where you can follow Dr. Hunt playlists, and you'll get a chance to see some of his videos from over 30 years ago, and you'll get a chance to familiarize yourself with Dr. Hunt. Some of his messages are still relevant today, so I encourage you to go check him out, see what you might have missed out on, but now you can see and enjoy it even 30 years later, some of the messages that he has. While you are there, we want you to scroll down. You will come to a place where you'll see my advertisers and my affiliates. When you get to the advertisers, we want you to scroll through, check them out. There are certain advertisers that you must go check out. One of them is Port Again Sam. Sam brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world, and he brings them right here. And when I say that, she picks up a drink every time. Uh, some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world and brings them right here. I tell you, what Sam has, you will what Freudian slip, huh?
Not to have it. I didn't know I did that. Sorry.
Yeah, you go. Um, so when Sam brings it in, you can only get it from Sam. His wine is exclusive. You can't get it in any other place other than from him. And I tell you, he's been out of cognac for a while. I've been waiting on cognac to come back in, but I am scheduled to go see him tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in his collection. So I definitely encourage you to click on it, schedule a wine tasting, go out and sit down with Sam and find out what he has that will suit you as a wine treat. Notice how I
Mm-hmm.
put that wine treat?
Wine treat. Yep.
There you go. All right. Also, we have other advertisers on there. We also have RRJ Web. If you're interested in perfecting your website, building a website, hosting a website, RRJ Web will help you put those things together. We also have an accountant service. If you reach out to them, they would be more than happy to help you with your bookkeeping all year round and also with your tax situation, whatever that may be. They're coming up with this new child credit that's coming out now. You're going to want to make sure you get every penny that you got coming. So I'm sure she can help you with that. Quick efficient. We also have other advertisers that now Miss Fiona is going to tell you about.
Thank you. Our first, well, the ones that I have, the first one is Kidtropolis Childcare. It's at 8104 South Houston Street here in Chicago, Illinois. And they are enrolling kids six weeks to 6 years old. They also offer a before and after school program during the school year. If you are interested, they're having an open house July 24th from 12 to 4 p.m. So you're more than welcome to come on down and check out the facilities if you'd like. And the second advertiser we have is Immaculate Education, which is my personal, what did you call it? Personal plug, Dr. Ron? Um, Shameless plug. It's my personal business. Right now, we are in the moment of rebranding. However, we are still offering tutoring and educational business coaching and consulting.
All right.
If you're interested, I'm sorry.
All right. Yes, definitely. So you all keep those announcements in mind. Go over to the website, check out all of our advertisers and affiliates. They make it possible for us to do what we do here on the show. So we appreciate anybody that's willing to go over there and check them out. Click on the advertisement. It'll take you right to their personal website, and you'll be able to check them out in its entirety. So do that. We encourage you to do that. Also, fill out a contact card while you're over there, and like and share on all of our social media sites. So please do all of those things. So normally, right now, we would be going over to our guest, but since he kind of like bailed out on us today, you know. Um, I'm just going to continue on with my lovely co-host. Shout out all the way to North Carolina. Miss Diane Cherry's tuned in. Thank you for watching. We also have Miss Renetta. She's tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate. Thanks for watching. Now, I was having a conversation with someone on yesterday, and the conversation came up. It was kind of echoing what our Black History moment was this
Mhm.
past Sunday. In case y'all
Mhm.
didn't know, we do a Black History moment every Sunday, which features Miss Fiona. She comes up with all of this wonderful knowledge. And I was getting into a conversation about the young lady and her marijuana use.
Mhm.
And of course, I took the young lady's side. I'm like, she was getting high, under stress or depression or whatever. She was in Colorado, which makes, smoking weed legal in the state of Colorado. But he took a position that it's against the rules. You break the rules, you're out. And I
Mhm.
understand that. I'm not totally opposed to that, because rules are rules, and they are there for a reason.
Right.
And he also made the comment that um they don't want you there in the first place, meaning people of
Huh.
color, black people. So for you to
Mhm.
do something like that, you made it too easy for them not to allow you to attend and be a part of this world event. and
Mhm.
and I understood that position, but I'm also going to flip it and say that my position was that of, okay, marijuana is on the verge of being legal in a lot
Mhm.
of places, and then eventually the federal government is going to legalize it. So when we get to that place in history, when you look back on all the people that were penalized because of marijuana use, it's going to be like, wow, we didn't have to be such buttholes, or, whatever, being so
Right.
cruel about the rules and a stickler for this particular rule when this rule is on the verge of not even being there anymore as a law. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I understand both perspectives. The perspective that I put out there was that, hey, she's not gonna make the trip. And I get it. She's the best that America had to offer through the finals, and she won't be there.
Right.
Okay. On another show that I'm on, Street News Now, we talked about how the Olympic governing committee had said early on that they do not want any Black Lives Matter paraphernalia. So
Mhm.
that's particularly targeted to the Black people that come from America. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and I understand, once again, rules are rules. They're corporations that make the rules, so they get to say what they want to say, what they want, what they don't want. They don't want political statements.
Mhm.
But I think all of this is kind of, um, I guess it's bittersweet, because if you can follow the rules to get
Mhm.
there, and then you raise your arm in protest against the national anthem, and you ain't got to have no Black Lives Matter flag on or
Mhm.
T-shirt, but they still gonna persecute you for the rest of your life. And I'm making reference to the brothers that were in the '60s Olympics that
Mhm.
protested, by raising the Black power fist in the air. So
Mhm.
down through history, and I'm even gonna throw Colin Kaepernick in there. His
Mhm.
protests, they persecuted him for that. you know. So we can easily get targeted for protests, but where's the love that needs to be shown our way on occasions? So I'm throwing that out there. I
Yeah.
know that's a whole lot. I just put a whole lot on the plate right there. So
Well, it's a good start. It's a good start to start really for people to really think about it, because thinking back to what you said through your first conversation, the gentleman saying, what did he say? They knew what the
they
rules
know what the
were.
rules are.
They know the rules. And then what triggered me was the fact that because you're black, why does there have to be certain rules because you're black? When if the United States is the United States and we're supposed to come together at that point, why is there still discrimination? When America, we're all Americans, and aren't we supposed to go there to just win?
Well,
You know what I mean?
I do. And the objective is to get there first. Now once you get, to that stage, and my argument with them was, and it wasn't really an
Mm-hmm.
argument, it was just a
Right.
discussion back and forth. And my thing was, it was not a performance enhancing drug, which, normally is not our issue. But they catch
And
them
that,
too. They catch them too with the
right.
drug test. Because, I mean, as you mentioned it before the start of the show, there was another young lady that was Black, and she
Shelby
tested positive.
Honahan.
Yeah, she tested positive with steroid or performance enhancing. So she's not going to be able to go. So they got her in the drug test. You know,
Oh, they said she can't go.
if you test positive for drugs, and then she ain't gonna be able to go.
Oh, see, I haven't. I have to look up that because I didn't think they said anything for her. Just I thought her excuse of eating pork something was excusable. See, that's the world we live in. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You know,
Let me.
yeah. So you trying to tell me your pork chop had performance enhancement in it?
I, hey.
I'm just asking the question.
That's.
I don't eat pork, so I know they got some other stuff in pork that'll do you bad, but I know.
It,
uh,
they said that. So to me, that was just the excuse for her still to go.
okay.
But you know how they say they put steroids in the chicken, and well, you don't eat meat, so. but they put steroids in meat and all in animals and stuff to make them bigger.
Okay. And so I got real quiet on that one. Um, I know in the sport of baseball, they had
Mhm.
Senate hearings with Pete Rose and a few other baseball celebrities and sports stars, and
Mhm.
and these guys were taking certain vitamins that help swell them up, and all those things became banned and are banned. This young lady in particular, small is all get up.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what they found or what they say they found, but normally once you test, make a bad drop, that's it. They're not
You're
willing.
absolutely.
Yeah,
You're right. She was banned.
yeah, they're not willing to work
She
with
got
you.
banned. You're right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so and that's not normally our issue. You know,
You're right.
normally, I don't know. That pork chop thing was kind of hard to swallow. I don't know.
Hey, there's some people that eat
I
pork
don't know. I
chop.
think she'd have did better smoking a joint. If you're gonna get banned, you might as well be mellow while you're doing it.
Do it
Okay?
for the
Yeah. I like what the other girl said. My kids was getting on my nerves, and I had to smoke a joint to chill out. Okay, that's realistic right there. You know, and she still was the fastest thing on the field. Okay, so
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just an advocate for weed in a lot of ways. Okay,
Mhm.
I know that it has medicinal purposes. I know it. A lot of people were punished. Over the decades, 100 years or more. Because
Mhm.
of it, because the government that we live under said it's a gateway drug. If you smoke weed, it's gonna open the door for you to do crack, heroin, all sorts of other things. But I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say it's because of the weed, because I remember coming up in the '70s. Okay, now you're gonna make me tell a story. you know, Back in the '70s, they used to say all of those little crazy things about weed, and I never had an urge or a desire to go snort cocaine, because crack wasn't the issue then. Or do heroin, because I smoked a joint. Now I used to
Mhm.
start my day every day with a joint and a cup of coffee. Okay. That made sure everything came out all right before I left the house. When I got to
You
work,
focus.
I was
Mhm.
focused and ready to do what they asked me to do, that they were paying me to do. Okay.
Mhm.
And I ain't missed no days of work. I was a workaholic. I'd work eight
Mhm.
hours during the day, then I work another 8 hours at night, and then sometimes I work two jobs on the weekend. So I didn't
Mhm.
have no problem working. Okay.
Mhm.
Not at all. All right. So I enjoyed, how I started my day.
Right.
And then they had,
Well,
go ahead, go ahead.
because I was just going to ask you, isn't there a holistic aspect to
It
marijuana?
was.
Well, but it is.
Yeah, nowadays if they didn't resurface it, it
Mhm.
has very, very positive holistic, because now they break it down chemically. They got these, hybrids, they got these indicas, they got sativas, they got CBD. So whatever
Mhm.
you need the weed to do, it can be done. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, some people that probably got issues with that. I don't have no issues with it. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm from the 70s. We had good weed and we had good sex. You know, those were things that we had in the 70s that, hey, they messed up the weed and the sex in the 80s. Okay. They came out with this
Mhm.
HIV, and then the weed got sprayed paraquat and they messed all of it up. Okay. Then all of a sudden, then we had crack and everybody was scared to have sex. But we were a lot happier back
Mhm.
in the 70s. Okay. We had good music.
Mhm.
you know, we had R&B, everybody, we had jazz. I'm like, man, everybody was cool and mellow, smoke a joint, lay back
Mhm.
and chill. Okay.
Mhm.
What you
Sounds fun. Sounds fun.
you said sounds fun.
It does. I'm sure at some point things shouldn't change, but I guess it's now what's happening is the behavior that goes along with marijuana. So instead of just chilling, it's just everybody's like anxiety, or I don't know. Maybe everybody should smoke weed, Dr. Ron.
Well, I know some of these chemicals that people are dealing with now, they're far more dangerous. They cause more harm. Heroin has always been around since the Roaring Twenties. And
Mhm.
cocaine was too, but it was not the point that I was making. You're not going to start out with marijuana and then wind up with heroin. It's
Mhm.
not going to happen. It's not the gateway drug that they professed it to be. Okay.
Mhm.
And I stopped for a very long period of time, dealing with any type of drugs or anything like that because, it was, first of all, it wasn't available. And then second of all, I started doing other things, just like I used to be a heavy drinker at one time. I used to do a lot of drinking.
Mhm.
I don't do that anymore. I'll go by and see Port Again Sam, and I'll have me a few cocktails, and then I'm gonna come home and go sleep.
Mhm.
I ain't trying to be out all night long or anything like that because that's not my lifestyle.
Mhm.
So, but it was interesting conversation, about the girl and the marijuana and those type
Mhm.
of things. Um, I know we talked about Bill Cosby on Sunday as well.
Mhm.
So I know you had something to mention about that.
Well, I definitely, you just brought up the whole 70s and drugs, and that's exactly where my mind went because I'm still stuck on, don't get me, okay, I don't know, I wasn't in the situation. However, with the drugs and the scene and stuff like that, and all the women who are saying he drugged me and he did that, I still have a hard time believing that it was just him to blame for their situations.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page with you on that. First of all, I'm glad he's out of jail, so don't nobody need to protest my show because I said, I'm glad he out of jail. I know that they're going out to Felicia Rashad, with a bullhorn and a chair and a whip, trying to put her in a corner, persecute her for what she believes in her opinion. And
Mhm.
I am personally glad he's out of jail too. I
Mhm.
still say that it was a miscarriage of justice. The deposition on last week came out. People are often quoting, misquoting what Bill has said. Somehow he said he drugged and raped these women. That's not what the
Mhm.
deposition said. The
Mhm.
deposition said that he had sex with these women, and they asked him, did he give quaaludes to them? He said no.
Mhm.
So it has been misquoted in the deposition that he said yes. He did not. He said yes to having sex with them.
Mhm.
And I quoted on my show on Sunday that the professor, that's on the show with us on Street News Now, he was saying he finds it very hard to believe that a man of his stature and caliber and celebrity would have to drug and rape somebody, and I kind of gotta agree with that. I just don't see it. As a person that would do those type of things.
Mhm.
I'm sure that there were plenty of women throwing themselves at him all the time. You know,
Mhm.
and then one of the reports on this week even brought up the fact that one of the women that was complaining spent 2 days with him. You know,
Since he's been out.
huh?
Since he's been out.
No, no, no. I'm talking about back.
Oh.
One of the women that were, um, came forward and said, "Well, he raped me." You know,
Oh.
but you spent 2 days with the man.
Right.
So who does that? You wasn't held captive. You know, so
Yeah.
he must have been doing something to you that you liked. you know. But they
It
may
made you think.
build the poster child for a movement, and
Mhm.
the movement, the Me Too movement, where everybody came forward and started talking about they had sex with somebody that they were sorry they did,
Mhm.
and I'm not bashing the movement. They ain't talking about letting Harvey Weinstein out of jail because he did all of that and some. You know, uh,
Mhm.
but I think that um, the movement was built off of destroying Bill Cosby. I'll say it like that. You know, and bringing out things in his past that will probably not be unrepaired. You know, those things can never go away. You know.
Wasn't he also in the process of buying a TV? I should have looked this up before. But wasn't he in the process of buying a TV network prior to him going to jail?
Yes,
And why
yes,
the scandal got so much bigger?
yes. That was part of the um, speculation on why the attack against him and his family came
Mhm.
came so heavy. Because he was trying to do something that no black person has ever done before, and they launched a personal attack against him.
Mhm.
On
Mhm.
I don't know if that has any great merit or not, but
Mhm.
I think they just went after him with both barrels, whole hog, and caused a you know I mean, people say a lot of things. They said the same thing about Kobe's accident. Kobe was getting ready to do some great things,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he died in a helicopter crash. And
Mhm.
and conspiracy theorists, there's a spirit conspiracy about everything. Depending
Mhm.
on who you talk to, when you talk to them, they can connect the dots and make it sound so realistic. Like
Mhm.
make you want to go I don't know.
Right.
I don't know for sure. I don't know how much truth is to that, but it was
Right.
definitely something that was said. Yes.
Well, I was looking at what was it, MSNBC, and they have this comment up here. I thought it was pretty interesting. I'd like to share. The author of the article writes that society has Cosby uses Cosby as a symbol of respectability politics in the African American culture. And for those who continue to support him, and this is just the flip side of what we're talking about, those who continue to support him have no clue. He really doesn't like us. And this was also called the gaslighting of Black America. We are a means to an end, and we exist in his and we have a picture of him in his imaginary morality play of his life, as him being that good dad, excuse me, as him being the doctor, the good dad. And he was just basically saying we should get out of his fictional character and into his real life character to really see who this person is. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I will say it's not hard for people to have skeletons in their closet. I'll say it like that.
Mhm.
Politicians, public figures, oftentimes they live their entire life in the public light. And sometimes, there are things that go on when the lights are not on, when the people are not
Mhm.
around. I've oftentimes heard people talk about, the clown when he's not in makeup. When you look at the clown, his entire job is to perform and make people smile and feel good. But when
Mhm.
they take off their makeup, nobody knows who they are. They're depressed, they're sad, alcoholics. They have issues. Not all clowns. I don't want the clowns calling me up talking about y'all. You talked about it.
Stop talking
Please
about
don't
me.
call me if you're a clown. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put a stigma over you. I am paraphrasing a type, okay? Because you know how folks get, boy. He said, and then the next thing you know, they be protesting outside my office, my studio here. Uh,
Or you could say people wearing a mask.
and there you go. But
Mhm.
you don't know what goes on after they're stopped performing. Once they're not the public person that everybody is used to. And
Mhm.
people have to deal with real life issues and things oftentimes that we may not even be aware of. I heard somebody say one time that public figures owe the public. No, they don't. Public
Hmm.
figures do not owe because they making millions of dollars and sports and things of that nature.
Mhm.
They owe their public. No, they don't. They do not owe the public anything. That is just like their 9 to 5 job. When
Right.
you go to your 9 to 5 job, you owe your employer your hours and good service. Once that is over with, the rest of your time is yours. And you don't need,
Mhm.
people coming to your house, giving you a hard time. Every time they see you in public, they want to say, well, look, while you was at work the other day, want to talk about your job workplace when you out on your time, your me time.
Mhm.
This is my time. Why are you bothering me right now?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't understand that because if they've never been in that situation, they don't understand being a celebrity, being a public person can be very taxing and troubling. Sometimes you can't
Mhm.
even have a healthy social life, because you don't know who's chasing after you because of your celebrity. You don't know, you know.
Mhm.
Like if I run into Miss Fiona and I'm like, hey, I know you from that show. How you doing? Oh, can I,
Right.
they want to rub up
Like,
against you because of who you are, and
right.
then how much is that, because they don't know anything other about you other than what they see in the public. So
Mhm.
once they get to know you and they still stick around, they may not want to stick around once they get to know you.
Right.
It'd be like, hey, I'm getting out of here. This woman crazy, And I'm not calling Miss Fiona crazy, y'all. I am not calling her crazy. All right. I'm just making a synopsis that could be easily applied to anybody that's in the public eye. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm pointing at. People have a hard time,
Mhm.
and trying to adjust and please their public is not an easy thing to do. It never
Mhm.
is. Because people hold public figures to a higher standard than they would hold themselves. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Mhm.
Yeah.
What? So in the event you had said something earlier, or maybe that been before the show about what did Judge Mathis say? What was his stance?
Judge Mathis, um, he had mentioned. Now you got me trying to think of what I said. He had mentioned something about what did I say? What did I say? You remember what I said?
That he was for it and how much he did for the black
Oh yes,
community,
yeah,
I
yeah,
believe.
yes, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yeah. What he had pointed out, he was doing a radio show, and they had asked, Judge Mathis, what did he think about the situation that was going on with Bill Cosby? And he said, by him being a lawyer and a judge, he has to go by the facts. But one
Hmm.
thing he knew personally about Bill is he has done more for HBCUs than any other celebrity ever. There has never been a
Hmm.
basketball or a celebrity of any kind to give more money to HBCUs than anybody than Bill Cosby has. He was the only one that made sure
Wow.
that he funded HBCUs on a regular basis. So his philanthropic um, duties went unmatched. He gave a lot. He did a lot for a lot of people.
Hmm.
And of course, I mentioned this on Street News Now. People have a tendency to only want to acknowledge what have you done lately, not what have you have done your entire life. What about the things that he have done positive and the doors that he had opened for creativity and other things,
Yeah.
in the black community, you know. So
Because it was, I know it was just a show, but the Cosby Show, when they were sending their children off to school, and where were they going to Hillman, right?
yep. Hmm.
And they were going to Hillman. That's a lot of. I know in my era, watching my cousin, she went to Howard, and it to me it was like, oh, that was the thing to do. While I didn't go to HBCU, that show made a lot of black kids, even the kids that I had met, to be
Hmm.
like, that's why I went to school to have that black experience and stuff. And while it may be a TV, the reality is it really did change people's
Yeah,
lives of going
it
to
gave people
HBCU.
an encouragement to do that,
Yeah.
because of what you were able to get out of your college experience, and even to this day,
Mhm.
if you are a black person, black professors can relate to you better than white professors can. Yep, I said that out loud.
It's true. It's true. And then that's when we talk about our vernacular and stuff. It's the smallest things. It's a understanding, and people may not want to believe it, but it's true.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely you know how can you understand me when you've never had to walk a day in my shoes, my moccasins, my boots, or anything? It's very
Mhm.
difficult for you to have, when a person walks up to you and you're explaining to them your plight in life, and they sit up there, and they're white, and they say, "Oh, I understand." No, you don't.
It's just
No, you don't. You don't understand. You're patronizing me right now. Because I was looking at a movie a couple of weeks ago. It was playing back to back, called Higher Learning. That was a really good movie, and it
Mhm.
explained the differences on a college campus. From a track star from the hood who's trying to get an education on a track scholarship, and the black professor Lawrence Fishburne tried to help him understand. You got to play their game to get what they got. and that was what the bottom line was, you
What
know.
they don't own.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to put that in there.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then it turned into the twists and the turns. They had some skinheads, that started talking about white privilege and hatred towards blacks and Jews, and he wound up
Mhm.
killing Tyra Banks in the movie. So if you haven't seen it, I know it's an older movie. I can't remember how far back it is, but it's very relevant, still even to this day. You know,
Mhm.
um, it's a lot of black against white still that goes on. Yeah, I said it.
Mhm.
I said it out loud. Yeah. Can't get away from the truth, huh?
A lot of black against white and black on black. So it's like
Yeah.
we have a situation that we have to deal with. So
Yeah, I was looking at the
it's
local news today, and we had the most killing in Chicago for one weekend than in a long time.
you saw that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was like 88 people killed, and I can't remember the exact number, but they were,
Mhm.
the aldermen in Chicago were, crying out to the mayor's office and to the police commander's office. And of course, he's standing there trying to say that I think our plan really worked. How in the hell did it work? You got more killing now than you had before. And I'm gonna say this. I mean, they ain't gonna like me for saying it, but putting more police on the street nowhere is the answer. More
Mhm.
police on the street is not the answer.
Mhm.
Okay. Somebody came up with this long time ago. We need more police. We need more police. No, we don't. And then if you think about the duties of a policeman, policemen do not prevent crime. Police investigate crime. So after the crime has been committed,
Mhm.
now the police job kicks in. Okay.
I
And
think that's called gangbanging.
yeah, yeah. Well, Um, and everything that goes on in Chicago is not a gang issue.
That's right.
It's not a gang issue. Okay,
Mhm.
so um, trying to blame everything on the gangs, like the commissioner in Chicago. The first thing he said was, "This is part of a nationwide wave of crime everywhere." So, what the hell are you saying? You know?
Well, that's the interesting part, Dr. Ron, that crime happens everywhere, and you're a well-traveled man, and it does happen everywhere. And every city, every state, every town has that to deal with. But what are the solutions? And like you said, more police on the scene is not preventing. It's still happening, and it's not preventing any
Yeah.
slowdown.
And making excuses on why it happens is not going to make it any better. Like the commissioner in Chicago, first thing he said, well, they don't keep the criminals locked up in jail. After we lock them up, they let them out. He's still making excuses on why these people are dying on the streets of Chicago. Um, you know, it's very unfortunate. There's no one answer to that question.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, there are many problems in the city, and you have to start solving problems one at a time in order to be able to decrease some of the issues that are going on. And you can't just say, okay, universally, it's a grand gang problem, and we're going to attack all the gangbangers,
Right.
and you're not even addressing that properly, you know, because there are many issues. You know, I remember a show that used to come on. I'm finna go way back in the time now. Um, that used to come on and said, there are many stories in the naked city, and this is just one of them. So in
Mm.
this city, there are many stories. There are many stories, and each scenario is different. Many of them may be similar, but if you start addressing some of the different issues that are going on, you might be able to start get ahead of some of these things. But
Mhm.
that's not been happening. They're too busy making excuses, I say, you know.
Looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, you know what I like to do right now? Hold on one second.
Yes.
Let me throw up your information on the screen. There we go. We got it up there. We got immaculateeducation.com.
Mhm.
And then we got your Instagram. And then we got your Facebook up there. So you're gonna get more people trying to figure out where you at. They ain't gotta figure it out. It's right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just go to @drron.com.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there you
Mhm.
go. ask-dr-ron.com. And you can find all this information over there. But I just wanted to throw this up there while you and I are talking so people can see how to find you. Because we used to put this up every show, but then we kind of
Mhm.
got away from it. So it's always been there, but we just haven't put it back up on the screen live because the guests run their mouth too long. See, we ain't had a chance to talk in a long time. So what's on your mind? Since we got about 7 minutes left, what's on your mind?
Right now, I'm excited that things are moving forward. It's the little joys. And so I was looking at the news the other day. They're changing, what is it called? Lakeview Avenue downtown,
Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore Drive, to what's the person who discovered
That
Chicago?
DeSable.
Yeah, they're going to change it. And that was a black man who discovered Chicago. So I think that's kind of
Not just
cool.
a black man, but a Haitian black man.
A Haitian black man. Yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
he helped discover the fort here on the Chicago River, in which they named Chicago, the city of Chicago, after. And now that they're getting to a point where they're going to now agree to name a section of Lakeshore Drive after him, DeSable Drive or whatever highway. I don't know what they're
Mhm.
going to call it, but that's a section in Chicago that they have been arguing over for a while. So it's going to happen.
Yeah. Other than that, I just been just discovering Chicago. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
You have been out enjoying the sights and the sounds in Chicago. So have you
Mhm.
found that was such a big excitement to you? You got 3 minutes to explain that.
Oh man, what the water tower, the lake. Um, I even think that it's a pretty scenery over by where they held the trains, the subway. It's something that you have to see. It's the energy that you have to feel. It's real. It's one of the realest places I've ever lived in, and I'm gonna discover this till it's time to move on.
I know that's right. So
Mhm.
now you know I'm finna go there. So I know you from
Mhm.
the East Coast. Would you say that the
No,
people in Chicago are not as aggressive and rude as the people on the East Coast?
I will not say that.
You ain't falling for that one,
I am not saying that at all.
huh?
One, I'm a product of my environment, and then two, when Chicago's got some places up in here, Illinois, sorry, has some places who are just as rude as people all over the world.
I have yet
Mm-hmm.
to be to those places yet. No,
Man, listen,
I ain't seen them yet. I ain't seen
you ain't
those yet.
seen them
I
yet.
ain't seen them yet. You can
Oh
get off the
yeah.
airplane in New Jersey and New York and experience the rudeness without even saying anything to anybody.
See,
Yeah.
you know what? I got to
Uh-huh.
go back to what's his name? What was his name? Chocolate Yoda, right? He
Yes.
was like, it's like you can't be easily offended. That's the difference. Okay, if I had to say anything, you can't be easily offended. If the color black, yeah, the color is black. Well, it's the color, it's the shade. No, it's black. You see what I see? That's the big difference. When you can play around and you try to make excuses for stuff, then you probably would think that New Yorkers are or East Coasters are
Well,
whatever you want to call. But
but even when I say friendlier, when you go down south and other places, you look a person in their face and they make eye contact with you, they're gonna say hello, hello. That's courtesy. You look a person uh, in New York, especially in the eye, what you looking at me for?
mhm.
You might have to fight your way out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they can be
And
kind of.
sometimes it's a stare.
It's not a stare. It's a
It,
look and a say hello.
it's so okay. So it's such a fast pace. I will say this. It's on the East Coast. It's fast paced. So sometimes you're not even paying attention to what's going on. You just, I got to get to what I got to get. Unless you're a visitor and you want to sightsee,
Okay, you're gonna defend
it's
them
a
any kind of
fast
way you
pace.
can. I get it.
I am.
Yeah. Look, it's almost time to get out of here. We got like 2 minutes left.
That was fast.
I want to encourage everyone to go over to ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, please go up to the top, check out all of our social media, scroll down, check out all of our advertisers. They make it possible to do what we do here on the Ask Dr. Ron show. We appreciate each and every person that stopped in to say hello. Miss Jeanette dropped in. Dave Johnson dropped in. We had a few people that just dropped in during the course of the show. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you all. We show up every week to give you all what we have to offer. Next week's show, we bring an Osei back. You remember Osei? That he gonna
Yep.
be here. I ain't worried about him. Yeah, I can talk about him. Osei will be here next week without hesitation. I want to encourage everyone to go over to Miss Fiona's Facebook and Instagram. Send her a friend request. There's her website, immaculateeducation.com. It's on the screen there. We also do a Black History moment each and every Sunday, which we're going to be continuing for the rest of the year, 365 days a year. We got Black History celebration going on. Okay.
Every
So
day.
every day is Black History moment. So, Miss Fiona, what would you like to
Yes.
leave with the people on this week?
I would say be good to yourself and take a load off a little bit and have a good week.
All right, now. All right. Well, look, let me throw this up on the screen right quick. This is where you can make contributions and donations to help keep us going with what we do here. All of our information is right there where you can make Zelle, PayPal. If you want to do, Cash App, all the information is right there. We appreciate anything that you share with us. We look forward to seeing you guys again on next week. Y'all stay safe.